Leeds United are set to sell a Wonderkid that everyone was really optimistic about. Whites fans absolutely love to back our youngsters. You've seen it with Archie Gray, you saw it in the past with Calvin Phillips. But whilst those are success stories, it doesn't always work out. And it leads to us being likely to sell an academy star this summer. And I feel like there's a big conversation to be had around it. So we'll be going through some of the reasoning towards the end of the video. But first, to run through all the initial details, who is it we're selling? It's Charlie Cresswell. Charlie Cresswell has been put on the market by Leeds United, and the 21-year-old centre-back hasn't quite kicked on like we'd hoped. When he initially broke into the squad and played that match against West Ham, everyone was like, brilliant, this is a really promising centre-back. He can be the core of our backline for years and years and years to come. However, that evolution hasn't quite happened. He hasn't grabbed a place in the starting 11 and retained it, and that means that he probably wants to leave for more game time, and we can make a bit of a fee from him as well. So a move looks inevitable. There is interest from clubs in Europe, such as Hanover. I think someone in France was as well, maybe a Spanish club too. I can't remember the names specifically, and I forgot to write them down, but there's definitely Hanover in there. And there is almost certainly some domestic interest too. I think that will come from lower half championship clubs, maybe sides that want to push forwards towards the playoff and are happy to invest in a little bit of young talent. But I can't see us strengthening a rival. So if it's a club that we think would actively be battling us for a position in the Championship this season, I don't see us making a move to them. I think we'll look abroad first, and then if that doesn't work out, then we'll just say, okay, we'll stay domestic, but as a last resort. So, what are Leeds United expecting to earn from this deal? The whole point of the transfer window is that if you're going to offload a player, you kind of want to get some money in, just to shore things up a little bit financially, especially when we're already in a position where we probably need to do a little bit of selling as is. It looks like reports state that we are looking to sell for £3.5 million, which is, in my opinion, a pretty fair value. As football fans, what we do is we look at players and we like to think they've got maybe a little bit more potential than we've seen. And through doing that, we inflate what we perceive their value to be. So there'll be people saying, why aren't we looking for 5, 7, 10 million pounds on this one? But you need to consider the fact that he isn't really kicking on at Leeds United at the moment. He is effectively a bench player, and whilst there is still room to grow, he is just 21 years old. That's not potential that's really realised itself at Leeds United. Whilst we might think, yeah, we've watched a bit of the 21s and he looks really good there, that is, at the end of the day, the under-21s. It is the England under-21 sometimes as well, but then again, you tend to, if you are 21 years old and very good, be in consideration for the senior squad rather than the under-21s captaincy. I think he got that role because he's more experienced at that level, and he's more experienced at that level because he's not pushed beyond the level. I think £3.5 million is about right for someone that is basically hovering around our bench at the moment, and that's the way that we need to see it. Add on to the fact that it also clears a probably fairly significant wage. I can't remember when he last signed a contract at Leeds United. It was in the past couple of years, but it'll be fairly significant because at that point he was looking at either being a Premier League player or hoping for promotion to the Premier League if he signed it this season. I don't think he did, but either way. And that means that his wage will be pretty hefty, and getting that off the books will also help with the PRS stuff, and it'll help clear out a little bit of wage budget, so we're a little bit safer if we're pushing for more players. The question a lot of people have, though, is should we be selling? Is this the right move? Is selling Charlie Cresswell the right approach for us to take? And I think it is the biggest question, because once you sell a player, you can't exactly get them back. Yes, you can loan them out, but once a loan's happened, you know you're pulling them back in again. That's not the case here. And we have to consider the fact that Cresswell nearly left in January as well. Also over a lack of game time, which completely understandable. He wasn't getting much game time, and I understand why. And he's had no extra minutes since, so it feels a little bit inevitable. And the thing with that, in my opinion, is it's sort of for the best for everyone. The next section I've got is, did it have to be this way? Because you can think about it in the past and you can think, well, if we would have taken a different approach, would we have been able to keep him and build him as like a core part of the squad? And there are multiple people that other people are blaming for this, are blaming for the fact that Cresswell hasn't broken through. Some people are actively blaming Liam Cooper for blocking his route into the first team. This one felt a bit weird, and it was an argument that I hadn't really seen before until the retained list came out, where a lot of people were saying, well, hang on, why are we re-signing Cooper? We've got Charlie Cresswell. Surely Charlie Cresswell should be coming through and growing. But the issue with the Cooper thing is we're re-signing him because we quite badly need some experience, and we need someone that can take on a leadership role, and I think that's what Liam Cooper will effectively do, whereas that's not something that I think Charlie Cresswell has in his locker at the moment. Aside from that, some people are blaming Daniel Farke for not playing him more, and I can see this argument completely, but at the same time, you look over the last season, and you look over the fact that when we dismantled that back four, when we took Joe Rodon out of it, we looked significantly worse. And Rodon is someone who is most comfortable playing at right centre-back, which is the same position as Charlie Cresswell. So if you are picking Charlie Cresswell, you're risking getting results, and you won't want to accidentally throw away promotion just to give Charlie Cresswell a few more minutes to hope that maybe he develops to be competing with Joe Rodon for that spot. You're sort of artificially forcing competition where he might not necessarily be at the standard. I think you can blame Daniel Farke for not playing him, sure, but at the same time, you would blame Daniel Farke if he did play him and we dropped points. He got unlucky by not sort of having injuries in front of him. Rodon didn't get injured at any point, which sort of kept Cresswell out of the side a little bit more. But at the same time, some people are also blaming Charlie Cresswell for not being good enough, because at the end of the day, if you're not of the standard, you're not going to get picked. But that's a bit of a circular problem, because if you're not playing football, you're not going to improve, and if you're not improving, you're not of the standard and you're not getting picked, which means you're not playing football and you're back to the start again, where development just sort of stagnates. But ultimately, with this entire thing, I don't think we need to blame anyone. Players get sold. It happens sometimes. Academy footballers will come through and look like they're doing really, really, really well and hit a wall. I still remember when Jan Poveda played against Man City and sort of unlocked their defence and helped us to score a goal. But no one is clamouring for us to keep Poveda, because we know Poveda hit that wall and didn't keep developing. I think the issue here is the attachment that a lot of fans have to Charlie Cresswell based on the fact that he came through our academy and his dad played for Leeds, which sort of makes people think, okay, there's a nice little connection going on there. But at the end of the day, you need to judge him as you would any other centre-back. We judged the likes of Arpo Helm based on the fact that, well, he stopped developing, so I don't mind him going to Barnsley. And if we don't take the same approach for the likes of a Charlie Cresswell, then the club is at more of a risk of stagnating a little bit, purely because, well, we're not pushing ourselves to that limit. We're not playing the best possible players at every possible opportunity, and that sort of causes a cycle that causes problems for us. Ultimately, I think this is the best move for everyone. Leeds United get some money in. The other club, whoever they're going to be, good luck to them, will get a fairly decent youth prospect that could develop, and Charlie Cresswell will get those minutes that he quite badly wants. Charlie Cresswell leaving Leeds United is the right move at the moment, and us getting £3.5 million for him, not too bad. A nice little sell-on fee would be quite nice as well, but you never know. Either way, let me know what you think in the comments down below, because I think this is a really sort of interesting topic that everyone has something to say on. Hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, pop a like on it. Subscribe if you're not yet. And yeah, I will see you later. I really like Charlie Cresswell, but these things happen, don't they? It's fine.